Hiya, welcome to another episode of Word Up. Thank you so much to our Patreon subscribers. And we'll have some new Patreon subscribers this week as well. So thank you for joining our wee group of fucklers. Please feel free to write in any suggestions or whatever you want, and your thoughts on this week's episode. This week we have a brilliant episode coming up with Darren Matthews. He was in for a fleeting visit and we had a great time. I just want to give you a wee heads up. I'm going to be doing some shows around Belfast, etc. This is only some of them because my memory is terrible. But I'm going to be in the Doyen on the 14th of June. I'm in the Strand Cinema this Sunday. That's tomorrow if you're watching on the day this is released. On Sunday the 2nd, we're going to show my wee short film that I made, and I'm going to do a wee bit of stand-up. It'll be my first time seeing it as well, so be prepared. Stendhal also is on the 5th of July. I'm going to be there. If anybody wants to come along and see a bit of comedy while they're at Stendhal, hit me up. Come on for a shout. And very importantly, I have the Devonish on the 7th of June. We are doing a big charity comedy night on behalf of Mothers Against Genocide, and all of the proceeds of that night, there's some of the biggest names in comedy are going to be there, and all the proceeds of that night go to delivering medical aid on the ground to people in Palestine. So if you could support, if you fancy coming along for that, get your ticket early before they sell out. And thank you. I hope you really enjoy this episode. Hello. Are we good to go? Yeah. Welcome to this week's episode of Word Up with my good friend Darren Matthews. How have you been? Darren, this is your first time in our new digs.
This is class.
You liking it?
This is delighted. This is very, very cool.
Yeah, we could get used to this.
It's really good. I mean, you guys can't see on camera, but like, see from here, you can see right out onto like the veranda.
Yeah.
And then over there, I mean, I can't believe they put a water slide in for you. That's unreal. The rent in this place must be incredible.
Yeah, and I really, really like that the Eiffel Tower isn't lit today. It's just right there.
No need, it's bright enough. The views are beautiful.
It's the nicest rehab centre in West Belfast.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We all need rehabilitated anyway.
It's not the Betty Ford Clinic, it's the Blonde Ford Clinic.
The Blonde Ford. I love it. I actually am going to save you in my phone as something new now.
Really?
Because you know the way I write motherfucker to you? So you're not Darren Matthews, you're going to be Darren motherfucker.
And will you remember that's me though?
Yeah. Yeah, all day long.
Yeah.
You're my little motherfucker.
Your wee brain, you'd be like, fuck. Scrolling back through the conversation, it's Darren.
It's Darren Matthews. Yeah. Do you ever do that whenever you save somebody in your phone, or you don't save them but you know who they are because you've been talking and their number's there? And then you go to actually ring them or whatever, and you go, I don't even have their number.
Full detective mode.
Oh, I know. And then you start like searching in terms that you've talked about in your chat, so it'll throw it up. Do you know what I'm talking about? And you're like, wanker, and it's just millions of chats.
And then, my sister's got a new phone.
I've completely ruined my contacts list on my phone because everybody's name has R before it.
That's
like,
what I have.
So when I go to find
my
niece,
Irish thing?
When I go to find like my niece Neve's number, I'm going, and why the fuck do I not have our Neve's number? And I go, oh, it's under our Neve.
Do you tell me this? So
It's just
my
all
cousin
R.
does the exact same thing as I do, which is I have everybody who is related to me or who I like kind of love enough to go R, has OUR in front of it.
Yeah.
But my cousin puts just
R.
the letter R in front of it, which I was like,
our kid.
Yeah, like R. So you're just going, you've really fucked yourself over there. Like, how do you work that one out?
Everything's just
Yeah.
under
Do you
R.
do that?
Yes, we use R all the time, so it's talking about cousins, aunties, brothers and sisters, or Gareth, or Declan, or Stephen.
I have a question for you because this actually, we talked about this, and I don't know actually if David and I talked about it on air, but it came up, and it was an English person asking, do you say my mum or our mum? And I was like, this is a bone of contention for me because, right, see if I'm saying my ma, I'm talking to you about my ma. See if you're talking to your siblings, though. Do you say mama or do you just say like ma?
We call her Brenda. But
Do you just call her by her name?
Yes, we do now, yeah.
Oh, that's a slap. You can't do it in front of your mummy, though. But see,
No, she's okay with that.
The reason that I noticed this is because, right, I have half siblings. And
oh, yeah, that's a whole other...
but they came over, and at one stage, one of my half siblings was saying, and they just naturally say, my dad. But I was starting to get a bit offended because I was like, he's my dad too. Like, if we say my, and really enunciate the fact that it's my, it means like you're implying ownership. So my car, my daddy. But if you're saying that to your sibling, that's like implying that he's not theirs.
What if you're saying my sugar daddy bought me my car?
Well, that's fine. That's absolutely fucking
And you're
right.
like, no, that's different thing altogether.
That's amazing. Yeah. In that case, you just go, I am good looking.
See, I have no half siblings, so it would just be. I think what I would just say. Well, obviously, if I'm talking to one of my siblings, I don't have to say my or our.
Right.
I just say mum or ma, and we go,
Right.
yeah.
But see, it's mad because I say ma. It's like M-A. Mama is
Mama.
Mama.
That's very close to that.
Mama.
But I was saying the other day.
Mama was saying, do you know what I mean? Where
Aye.
if you go my ma, it's kind of like you're fighting.
But
you're going,
I wouldn't
my ma.
wouldn't say that to my aunties though. I would say my mummy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you have it in your house where ma's a bad word?
Ma's a
If you
bad
say
word
it
in
to
my
their
house.
face?
I wouldn't say ma in front of my mother.
Yes. Because I know down south, they're like ma, and it's grand, like ma.
Yeah, or the owl one.
But
I get such a belt for that one.
The old one, no, I'd be shaking hands with the Grim Reaper, fuck's sake, if I said that. But I just would, like, I remember as a kid, if we said ma, or my mummy heard us talking to someone, we'd go, I'll ask my ma. She would go, who's ma?
Aye.
Who are you calling ma?
I think we have a generational thing as well because I have a brother who's 5 years older than me, so I would say mum, which is a bit English, and I really understand that, but
No, over here, mum is middle class.
mum's middle class. Fuck me, I'm middle class, unreal.
Yeah, like you're middle
Congratulations.
class if you say mum over here, whereas in England, mum. Have I already done this on the podcast?
Middle class from a fucking council house, unreal. So delighted with myself.
You're quite middle class now. Well, you are. You do live in Fanahi.
Oh, fantastic.
Fanahi.
This is great news.
You say mum, but your brother wouldn't say mum.
No, my older brother, this is a generous thing because my own mother, when she was talking about my grandmother, she would have said mommy.
Mommy.
So
yeah.
older people will be like, yeah, I'm going to mommy's house when my grandmother was still alive. And I'm like, cool. So my older brother will say, I'm going to mommy's.
Yeah.
And people go, you're like a man that's near 50. And I'm just like, yeah, but it still is mommy.
Men over here still say mommy.
I also think as well, it's that weird thing where because those terms have creepily been sort of taken over and
Yeah.
sexualized, you're like,
Yeah.
don't make it weird that I'm just going to my ma's, okay?
Yeah.
So it's just, oh, your mommy,
Like
and you fuck up.
Right enough, actually, I had a uni friend. She was English, and she used to really love it whenever not in like a weird, but she used to be like, "It's so funny the way you say daddy, like my daddy." And then she was like, and then she started to adopt that, where she was like, "I want to say daddy and call my dad daddy," and I was like, yeah, that's totally fine. But I never realised it was a big deal. Do you know what I mean? Like that I'll say daddy. My daddy, whereas you're meant to grow out of that apparently.
Your dad, your father.
My father.
Yeah, I was at my father's about the other evening.
Yes.
Like,
and
fucking country estate your old boy living in.
said on to me a caravan park in Ballybogey. Do you ever see those people that are like, yes, we've just recently bought a holiday home in County Down. You're like, you bought a caravan in Newcastle.
Yep.
Calm down. Do you know what I mean? Here, caravans used to be the poor man's holiday. It's fucking expensive now for a caravan.
I don't know. It's been fucking appropriated or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
But then, because of Cosy lives and all the prices going up, if you want to live in it, like if you want to have a caravan now, that's like you know the way eating oysters and like shellfish used to be something peasants did because they would be able to get them for free.
Yeah,
along the
wade
shore.
into the ocean.
Aye, and mussels and oysters were just like fucking shipyard like food for the peasants, and now it's all look at me and my oysters and champagne. You know,
There's an oyster and Guinness festival in Carlingford every year.
is there? I have
a big
actually
deal.
shout out to Belfast Oyster Experience, my friends, Aoife's business where they do they can do like private parties with it, like share the oysters and tell you all these stories and oysters and Guinness and
Nice.
have all these like
This oyster was a barrister.
the oyster this oyster in its hometown of the bottom of the Loch Earn was actually a mother of 5. The baby oysters are going to be delicious, but they're not ready for picking yet. That's dark,
These
isn't
couple
it?
of shrimp were a platoon that done 2 tours of Iraq.
No, they do have that because they have that it's like a wee tool where they lift the oyster up, and if it doesn't fit through the little thing, it's
too
good.
small.
It's too small. Or if it does fit through, it's too small. Just put it back.
Yeah,
Let
it's
it
a wee
go.
baby oyster. It needs to go back in
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
But oysters are only alive in the same way like a potato would be alive. Do you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's an organism, but it doesn't have a brain or anything.
Well, we do
Well,
it
it's a bit
where
like Boris Johnson.
That's what you tell yourself. That's what you tell yourself, murderer.
Yes, there's a better
I
her.
know. You innovate them alive. I can't pretend to like oysters. Do you like sushi?
do I like sushi?
And tell the truth. Don't lie now.
I mean, there's sushi that's not great, but there's such a broad spectrum of sushi. It's like saying, do you like soup? Some of it, yeah,
Yeah.
but sushi as well.
There's this new generation of people who are all, oh, we're going to get sushi tonight. And I'm like, yeah. Okay.
Do you want something to throw
Do you
back
know
in their
what?
face?
Yeah, if you want my fingers to smell like fish. Better ways to do it. No.
Have an hour freedom myself. Anyway.
Why? What do you say?
No, the thing with people, I actually found this out when I was traveling. Delighted. Another great useless information that I picked
Oh,
up.
go for it. I
So
love
people
these
over here,
things.
when they say they're eating sushi, or when because they're like, oh, it's raw fish. A lot of stuff with a cooked fish in it is sushi. If I get this right, proper raw fish like you should have, which we call sushi, is sashimi.
Sushimi.
Mm.
Oh.
Some people are like, just on the old raw fish. I'm like, you're not. That's not sashimi. That's
Yeah,
sushi.
that's sushi.
You can say that, busted out of a pub quiz. You sound a wee bit intelligent. And then when they question you further on it, just fucking run away.
I love it.
You're like, that's all I knew.
That's all she wrote. So sue me. I mean sashimi.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I just don't. I do like some actually. That now that you've said that, then there are certain forms of sushi that I can work with. Do you know what I mean? But all these people that are like, and they want it to be bougie. Do you know what I mean? And I look at some people and think, you don't actually enjoy that. You just want to say you enjoy that.
If you can buy it in a 4-pack in Spar for £2, probably not that bougie.
Yeah, it's not like. But then who Sainsbury's charging fucking $9.95 and all for like these? I'm just going seriously though. My kid asked me. I think I said this on stage before, but it is 100% true. My kid came into me one day and was like, "Mommy, can we have sushi for dinner?" And I was like, "Who the fuck do you think we are? Like, actually, seriously, can we have sushi for dinner?" I was
Like,
like,
who taught you that word?
what we weirdos running about there bragging because they're telling lies. So I was a can of tuna. It was put out for the fucking cat, son. Do you know what I mean? That's not for you.
Get
No.
off the floor.
Aye,
That's cat's food.
He watched Wolf of Wall Street and got ideas.
Wolf of Wall
He
Street.
feels like he's a 80s financial fucking.
Aye.
On the sushi and cocaine flat out.
Yeah.
You do. You just see them and we'll order in. We'll get some sushi. It's on the house, you know. You're just
Like business meeting, going for some sushi.
Yeah.
It is. It's sort of an idea. Whoever marketed sushi did a good job.
Yeah.
They're like those people that did diamonds. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody needs one. Blah blah blah. Sushi is bougie. You know, like, do you ever notice that there's things that are like definitely being marketed the fuck out of, and you go, I bet you there was an oversupply of that. Like, what's that one now? Lion's mane mushroom. Apparently, it's like all the health benefits in the world and yada yada yada. And lion's mane's amazing, and everybody needs to take it. But then I watched Jeremy Clarkson on his farm, and he was growing it in abundance, and he couldn't give. He was like, "There's so much of it," and I went, "That's why lion's mane's trending at the minute."
Is this an actual mushroom you eat, or is this like the stuff people are microdosing with their breakfast?
No, it is stuff you eat, but people do take it in a capsule as well because it's supposed to be really good for your brain. It is actually supposed to be really good. And if anybody wants to fire some capsules my way, I mean, I'll give it a go.
But you're saying it's just sort of appeared one day, and you're like,
Yeah,
I'd never heard of this before in my fucking
And
life.
now all of a sudden,
On this planet,
what have
38
you been
years.
doing living without it? Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? You go like, there's just an overabundance of it, and they went, we're going to market this so that every TikToker and every influencer,
Overnight oats.
overnight oats,
Cold
Oh my
porridge.
God. That's
So,
what it is.
and I like overnight oats. I do make it myself. I have it most days with a bit of protein mixed in it.
You
But at the
sheep.
same point, I'm just like, that's cold food. It's just
Yeah.
something I can lift out of the fridge and take with me to work.
Overnight oats are good though, but I've never had the preparation nor the Tupperware to do them. Do you know what I mean? The only time I ever have overnight oats is like if I'm staying in a hotel and have the wee pre-prepared pots. Sometimes I help myself to the pot as well because I'm just classy that way. Still laying in the back of the car, do you know what I mean?
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, don't
The
mind.
wee,
if
the
I
wee
do.
pot's just full of pens that don't work.
Yeah, oh my God. That's it. Do you know I feel like Ross from Friends sometimes
Oh.
whenever I go to a hotel where I'm like, do you know how I gauge whether or not it's a good hotel? I'm like, is the shower gel like an all-in-one shower gel body wash shampoo and is it stuck to the wall? Or do you get little individual bottles
That are going in your bag.
that are going in my bag? and I will probably never use, but they're going in your bag because they have that thing around. They come in handy if you ever run short.
No, you will. You will use them next time you go on holiday because you will put them in your wee Ziploc bag that goes on the plane.
Yeah, and you just go, that's me.
That's
sorted
that's
with
one of my 100
with
bills.
all your drugs stashed inside. I'm only joking. Yeah, don't take drugs.
By my drugs, I mean my inhaler.
Yeah, my inhaler and my fluoxetine, absolutely, all day long. But yeah, I kind of go, see if you go into a hotel and you go, I got a good deal on this. Look. There's shampoos you can take home. Major shampoo explosion. That's what I always think.
Stealing everything.
Yeah.
I think the fanciest hotel I ever stayed in was because they were sponsoring a gig I was doing in Bangkok in Thailand. So they sponsored the...
Amateur.
I know. They sponsored the comedy club. Now, the fee I was getting for the night would not have covered about 4 hours in this hotel. But because they're sponsoring it, it's great.
Right.
And I got up on stage and I said, ladies and gentlemen, the hotel I'm staying in is so fancy. I'm the only person that's stealing shit out of it. Like everybody else was clearly on the business card, they can afford it. This place was it was like a skyscraper.
Oh my God.
Pool on the roof, state of the art modern gym. My room was unreal. Like, hit the button by the bed, opens the blinds, beautiful view of the city.
Did you use one of those wee fancy toilets that does everything for you?
Not in Thailand. I have used one of those, but it wasn't in Thailand. It was in Singapore.
Was it? They'd be like,
it was grand.
Is it supposed to be?
I was like, this is way more hygienic than me putting my hand in my arse.
Well, that is true. That is true. I mean, we use baby wipes for babies, but you know what I have always been interested in? Apparently in Japan, it is like quite taboo going to the toilet. So like people don't they have like a little button on a lot of the toilets that makes a sound for you, and it can also make like a urinating sound to cover up your urinating sound because it's like embarrassing.
Like noise cancelling headphones, but for ones and twos.
Yeah.
Auto tune for pissing.
Auto tune, yeah. Like
hit the wee button and it will sound much more pleasant than you pissing like a broken garden hose.
Like a broken garden
hose. It
hose.
also covers up the noise of you going,
Yeah. Oh, what did I eat those for? Oh, that was too much sushi.
I think it's more acceptable.
Fucking Guinness and oysters.
Oysters. Shouting out a pearl. But yeah, I just think it's more acceptable for men to go to the toilet that way. Like to go number 2.
Can we point out as well, going to the toilet is a perfectly normal bodily function.
Of course.
When did a taboo thing happen of you're just like, when you were quite literally a child, somebody has to teach you not to shit your pants.
Yeah.
So as a baby, you just shit. Animals just shit.
Yes,
and I admire that they can. Yeah. I have 2 dogs. I'm just like, I'm on, then you have to wipe.
He didn't even break us. Like, do you ever notice they didn't even break stride sometimes? They're just walking and, you know.
What happens, I think, more so the shock of whenever my dog used the bathroom is he's like, what are you picking at? What are you dirty bastard?
Yeah.
You're over the bag. He's like, what are you doing?
Can I just
I'm marking my territory.
I was thinking of this, funnily enough, about like how things if you could just go back or get someone from 20 years ago, Belfast, right? And bring them to now, where if you were to see someone leaning over and picking up their dog shit, you would go, they are fucking nuts.
Yep.
Like, you'd go, there's a wee want in him. His lift doesn't go all the way to the top. He's only knitting with one needle. No, all that. Like, you would go, genuinely say, that's mad. But now, if people don't lean over and pick up the dog shit with a bag, you're like, pick up the fucking dog shit. Like, I stand and watch people and all to make sure they're doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I go, do they not? Why not? There's shade everywhere. But that's only the people.
No pride in the area, lad. No pride in the area.
No pride. Have some pride. Yeah.
So you wouldn't get a pride parade up there either. But no, because you have that thing where that is sort of the etiquette. But I do remember the land of the 80s and 90s of just white dog shit everywhere. Because I'm like, that's been there for months.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is fossilised in the fucking street.
We have already discerned that the reason there is white dog shit is because there used to be bone meal in the dog food. And that's why it would go white. Although I was always told that it was white because they'd worms. Like, that's why your shit was white.
Oh.
The dog.
Is it because, like, the bone meal, like, there was more calcium
in
the dog food? so they were producing, like the calcium was passing through them.
And
So
I'm
the
so
shape was
sorry if you are averse to talking about feces and or are eating right now.
Yeah, I'm sure you're here for the actual words that we're going to do.
The words. Would you like to hear this week's?
I
word?
do like that. I want to hear this word, but just to sort of tidy that all up. Poop is perfectly normal, and my ma doesn't like sushi or oysters. Go ahead.
Your ma. Oh, here, do you know something? My a friend of mine was in her boyfriend's house before, and they were going to mitch off school, and the ma was due to go out to work, and she had said goodbye to them all in the morning, and as soon as they went out the door, they came in the back door to sort of hide in the kitchen before the ma went out. And apparently she said goodbye to them all, and while they were hiding in the kitchen, they heard the ma walking into the living room and just letting rip like the biggest fart. She must have been holding it in. Just went on for ages, you know what I mean?
She's just being a polite mommy around the children, and now they're all gone. She's like, finally, I can breathe.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I thought I had the whole thing.
See something about men going to the toilet that is weird is fucking urinal etiquette. Or I was thinking about this the other day, because there wasn't an even number of urinals in the toilet.
Is it okay then to go next to the boy next to you?
If you've got a 3-player,
right,
and there's only 2 in there, you have to use the 2 far ones.
Yeah.
If a third person comes in and it is busy, then you're allowed to use the middle one.
Right. Yes.
But if there was only 2 people in there and you walk straight to the middle one, someone was on the outside one, they'd be like, "Fuck's going on here?"
Yeah.
Can you imagine there was 10 and one was being used at the very end, and you were the wee creep that walked all the way to the end and stood?
It's like the nutter will always sit beside you on the empty bus. It's the same idea.
But see, if in my head, if the toilet is empty and there's at least 4 urinals, I have to go to the 4th one. Even if there's 5 or for 6 or for 7.
Is that your wee OCD number? Yeah.
I have to go to 4.
Okay.
And if there's less than 4, I have to go to the 2nd one. I have to go.
Yes, because
You know what I mean?
So if there's 3, you're the dude in the middle.
Yes.
So if you walk in on your own and you're at number 2, and then somebody else walks in, you're just asserting your dominance, being like, all 3 of these are mine.
Yeah.
Unless you want to come look at my dick.
And what happens then?
So is it rude to use the middle one if there's nobody there? Because you're basically saying to everybody, "You can wait till I'm finished."
Usually, what happens then is to go in and they use the cubicle.
Oh really? I never thought about man politics.
Sit down, pee, check your phone.
Toilets, yeah. And is it not do people not assume that whenever you're getting into the cubicle that
taking coke?
He has to. He's either taking coke or he's going for a poop.
No.
See, the other thing as well is women, none of this bullshit. You guys go into nightclub toilets, 4 in there. Nobody's doing coke, you're just talking.
Why should women never work in fruit shops? Because they always piss in pairs. Right? So that's why we go into the toilets.
That's
together
fantastic.
And just have a yarn. But yeah, men are don't talk to each other or else
a lot less comfortable probably with themselves and sexuality and male ego and all that.
Saying that they were actually going to the toilet and somebody kept going, "Here, you taking care? You got?" And they were looking up going, "I'm trying to have a shite."
Yeah, this is very distracting.
Yeah.
If you could fuck off.
Would you please go away? Let me wipe in peace. No, I couldn't. I would just hold it in forever.
I always do enjoy that when I say to somebody, "I'll be back in a minute, I'm going to the toilet," and all, "Oh, we better sniff or something." I'm like, I've never done drugs in my life. So
we
no.
better sniff. Well, you can come in and sniff. I'm not sure
wouldn't
you'll
advise.
leave feeling happy.
That oysters tuck. Yeah, one of them that kid.
Daddy oysters. Hey, I can imagine that was not a good experience. This week's word of the week is
Proscribe.
Proscribe. Yes. Prescribe.
That was a nice, easier syllables there and there. That was a bit handier. Proscribe, yes.
Not to be confused with prescribe,
Prescribe.
which is what I get the doctor to do once a month. 40 milligrams of fluoxetine.
Or subscribe, which is what you should be doing.
Or
right
subscribe, which, thank you, Sean. See, this is why you keep this man about. He's the best.
Swears in commissioner.
Subscribe. This is what you should do to our Patreon, if you can. Thank you.
Proscribe.
So proscribe, I like this because I looked at it and it's a word that doesn't get used often enough. And you could use deliberately to get people to go, that's not what that means, because they'll think you're talking about prescribe.
Can we guess?
Yes.
Okay, go down.
Oh, no, I didn't want to guess what it was. I just think, have I heard this used when people say something about a proscribed organisation? Is that if you're like a paramilitary?
Yes. Yes.
Is that what that is?
You have heard that used.
I always wonder about that, what that actually meant, though. A prescribed organisation.
You're
I'm just like,
is that conscription? Do I need to sign up to that?
Yeah. Is this a monthly fee or what?
Yeah. What's going on?
No, that's a subscription. So Proscribe.
Yeah.
Have a go. I've heard it used in sense, but I don't actually know the meaning.
Thinking along those lines.
I was way off.
What were you going to say?
I thought it was like a level 10 black belt, like 10th Dan monk. You know, like he's like
Proscriber.
He's a proscribe. You went down the literal.
See the voices in the Book of Kells? Absolute level 10 proscribers.
Proscribers.
He's a
proscribe. Yeah. See Banksy? Proscribe. Yeah, like absolutely.
So what is proscribe?
Proscribe is something that is forbidden. Especially
that
by
would make
law.
sense. Okay.
Especially
so a prescribed
by law.
organisation.
So a prescribed organisation would be a forbidden organisation, Darren. So you were extremely right in your recollection.
No, I've heard it used, but I was like, what does that actually mean?
Yeah. See, this is what I mean.
So when you say a proscribed organisation, I always had it where I was like, oh, so you have to be a member? Is that so? That's what you're accused of?
It does sound like, yeah.
So it's a forbidden organisation. So that's your paramilitaries or your KKK or your...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like KKK, all that jazz. It should be like Tories. Should be prescribed, but we'll not go there. But yeah, it's like, so to prohibit something, to ban it, and then there was a historical use of it, which is like to outlaw something, and I love that. I love the fact that like we could be outlaws together, be prescribed. I'm surprised nobody has prescribed this podcast yet.
You haven't said anything too bad.
I haven't said anything.
If anything, this is educational.
Yes.
Today you've learned what prescribed means. You've learned how men are weird and can't go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you know what I want to do?
Because no reason for something to be pro would be like for.
Yeah, you would think that, wouldn't you? Actually, we should look at the etymology of that. But more
it could also be like a put down. You know, you could say like to somebody like, that haircut's so bad to be prescribed.
Yeah.
That's a very witty fuck you.
Yes, I love wee ones like that you can sort of slip in. People won't understand it. I sound like an absolute dickhead right now, but I should just go, that hairstyle, it should just be prescribed, and they'll be like, oh, thank you.
So it's how it's delivered, not what it means. And if they don't know, then they're like, hey,
hold on a minute.
Yeah, thanks very much. That's lovely.
What he say? But it made me want to ask questions like, what was completely prescribed in your house by your ma growing up?
The C word.
Oh, really? Like
I'm not. I'm a 38-year-old man. I still will try not my best not to say that. Now I'm not gonna say it on here because obviously we'll get you demonetized or whatever on your platforms. But no, the C word, the see you next Tuesday was the only word in our house you could not say.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The only word, so you could say everything else.
Everything else, yeah. Now, within reason, don't we mean to your brother, like, but it was mostly that. That was if you said that was a definite clipper in the head.
Oh yeah. Did you ever hear Ma say it about your dad?
No, she had so many other. She's very well read. Loads of extra words for that. So.
Oh yeah, so she's got good. Yeah. What was forbidden in your house? Like the absolute no go.
Oh fuck! Absolute no go.
Don't touch the immersion heater. Did you? You're probably beyond young for the immersion heater.
We didn't have.
What about a gas cooker? Were you allowed to touch gas, or did you do electric?
We had a fire.
You had a fire.
Okay.
Did you have one of them fires that I used to have, like in your council house, that had all the glass on the front of it?
No,
like a furnace.
Oh Jesus! So like what predated the fucking the wee pot stoves, which everyone has now?
Potbelly stove is quaint and beautiful. These were just, you're fucking broke.
Yeah.
You get prescription coal. Do you know what I mean? Like going to the doctor 5 times
from the prescribed organisation up the road.
Do you know what I mean? Hey, you need a prescription.
So don't touch the fire was your one then?
Don't touch the fire, yeah. Or like fuck. I'm struggling to think of one.
My cousin said her husband is really, really funny about like touching the walls in the house. Like if the kids like touch a wall or like bump in or rub against a
like
wall.
handprints or scores.
Because his mummy was really precious about like you were not allowed to brush against the walls under any circumstances.
Sounds like a wallpaper kind of house. I remember that 3D wallpaper that if you could like push bits in. Jesus. I remember saying my cousin at one time, my auntie, she nearly lost her fucking mind. Because it was like 3D, but you could be like, hey, push that, it just goes in and changes the design.
What was that called too? It was like Pebble Dash. There was a name for it. Like, do you remember they had a name for it? And it was like a pebble dashed wallpaper, and it was all all the rage.
Yeah, but as you say, if you bumped into it, it would rip on the army.
Yeah, it would absolutely fucking...
Blame your cousin in the front
and
room.
everybody
He's like,
loved that look on their ceiling where it was like, you know, instead of having it just regularly plastered, it looked like fucking wee stalactites.
Now that's a council house.
That is a council house.
That's still in my ma's house where the plaster would go up and then like twist.
Oh, really?
And it makes the yeah, I've seen people do it. I was like, that's so council house, man.
And it also it makes for like if your uncle ever lifted you in the air and threw you up and down, like you would hit your head and it would
scrape the life of you.
Yeah.
So you have that and then cardboard doors.
Wasn't allowed to leave the doors open. Like any doors. It was like we had fire doors before it was cool. You know what I mean?
Did you?
Before it was law.
Yeah. It was see any door getting left. There's a fucking quarter draft. Did you leave that door open?
Aye. Who left the door open? And you wouldn't even get the door shut. And your mad be going, close that door. Do you know what I mean?
See, I do this thing where I talk to some people. I was chatting to someone about this the other day. I was like, I feel whenever I tell people that are like maybe 1 or 2 generations below me, even my younger brother is 5 years younger than me. And when I tell him that I remember in our house, I remember us getting central heating and I remember us getting a house phone. And he looks at me like I'm from a fucking Dickens novel.
Yeah.
He's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, see, before you showed up, I shared a bed with the other two.
Oh my!
We just had a big double bed.
Do you remember you
full council house, like yeah.
And
I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. And just like everybody's man and dad grew up in a family like 8 kids, and he just be like, there's a boys' room, there's a girls' room, there's granny and granddad's room.
First one up was the best one dressed. Like that is actually how it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, make it a bit of hot water.
Yeah, fuck that. I remember I used to hate lying in the middle though. Like of my two, because you would be the smallest would always get thrown in the middle.
I was in the middle.
Be like.
Yeah. It's very warm in here.
Yeah, it was never a good thing. There's loads of things were prescribed in my house. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Like your own room.
Like your own,
you're not fucking getting one.
Yeah, you're not. Like, what is an own room? I know. Like, my kids now are like, we don't even have our own room. Like, and like, there's 4 of you. It's a 3-bedroom house. Of course, you don't have your own.
Yeah.
Room. I don't have my own fucking room. You know what I mean? What are you on about?
We had a thing where it was like a change in shift pattern in our house where it was when I was born, the 3 of us were in a double bed, and then one of the boys got a wee bit older when he was going to be, you know, they were like, we don't want to warp him, and also he's going to be like, we know what he's going to be doing. Got his own room.
Yeah.
And then there was bunk beds built for me and the other boy, and then the younger fella showed up. And then he was in mum and dad's room until he was a toddler, and then he was. Yes. Then it was just like rotating around the house.
It really is like my house. Then your mom must have been very punctual because she had 5 years, and then you, and then she had your eldest brother, and then she had
two boys within 18 months of each other. Very planned parenting.
Right.
And then they were Catholics. This guy 4 years later.
Yeah.
Another guy 5 years later.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
well, I'd love to say that was planned. Probably not.
Probably not. So have you just all brothers then?
All brothers.
And
no
do you
sisters.
get along now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did your mother never prescribe you from like playing with each other because you were just melters?
No, we were actually all dead on. I think there was enough of a generation gap where we weren't tripping over the top of each other. And it wasn't like, take your brother with you. For fuck's sake. There was none of that.
Yeah.
Because they're a wee bit older. So
I had to get this, guys. I had to break up a fight in my house the other day over a game of chess. How fucking I eat sushi does that sound? Like absolutely over chess.
How middle class.
And then somebody was like, they play chess though, take the positive. And I was like, happy days. You're absolutely right, Kira. But they first started playing chess online because it was this game where you could like blow up each other's chess pieces. And then when we were away in Krakow, it was like, will we buy the kids a chessboard? And I nearly didn't do it because it was a wee bit dear. And I thought, this is one of those butterfly effect moments where if I don't buy the chessboard, they're going to end up drug addicts. And if I do buy the chessboard, there's a chance that one of them might become a grandmaster. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, buy the fucking chessboard, give him all the Polish zlotys he wants, right?
And by grandmaster, we don't mean of the KKK, which is a proscribed organisation.
That is a proscribed organisation, and we do not endorse that sort of
So does everybody playing chess? What was the row over? Was it somebody saying you can't move that piece that way?
Yeah, well, the first
night goes diagonally, you dickhead.
The first minor, debacle was that Kai was saying Barry is trying to move his knight and he's trying to take my this pawn, but he shouldn't. And even I was able to go right. So I was having to look up chess rules, right? My phone was like, who the fuck has her phone stolen, right? And I was like, well, actually, no. The knight can move in an L shape, but you can do it that way or that. You know, so it was. This is called this, and they were like, right, okay, it's on the internet. It must be fucking true, right? And then what happened was they were dancing the 2 pieces left on the board, or 3 pieces, and they were dancing around for ages. Do you know what I mean? Playing cat and mouse.
Keeping away from each other.
And then Kai started to like complain and cry that Barry moved his piece while he was talking. All right, which I totally believe because he's slick it that way. Take your pill. And I was like, right, do you know what? We'll call it a draw. And Barry was like, no. He sounded like Tom Smith. He was like, winners win. Winners win. I'm not calling it a draw. I'm not. No. And I went, you're going to be here till next Tuesday if you keep this going. And he was like, he moved his and then the whole board got flipped. The fucking punches came out. They were hitting each other. They were kicking each other. And I was like, yous belong. These type of fights should happen in a boarding school for a game of a chess board.
Quarrel.
Yeah.
Quarrels.
One takes his glove off, slaps the other outside.
I challenge you to a duel.
Yeah. Pistols or swords? What do you want?
I shall see you at dawn. Bring a second. It's just like
it's just really the other brother. What am I doing here?
Yeah, I know. I didn't even do it. I was playing my Switch.
He was like, why are my chess pieces not blowing up?
Yeah.
Why is my knight not having machine gun?
Yeah.
How did they do in the game?
They were like, why? This is shit. It's just wee pieces around a board. But I actually did get a photograph of them, like in that moment, and thought, look at my wee working class childer sitting in a council estate playing chess. Do you know what I mean? Then the next thing you know, it was just like, there goes the neighbourhood. We're just beating the fuck out of each other with it.
I did have one thing where I think I played chess about twice, where one of my mates showed me how to play. I was like, can I move there? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay. And then I was like, so that one goes 1 up, and he goes, that's in an L, that moves. Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck, okay. And then I like accidentally beat him. And then I was like, will we try again? He was like, no. I was like, I didn't mean that.
I was like,
because he just sort of dropped one, and I went, if I move him over there, is that the main bit? Is it the queen or the king? And they were like, yeah, you take the queen. I was like, so can that one take the queen? Yeah. Do I win? He was like, fuck's
give me my marbles, I'm going home.
But I was like, I don't think I was the only time. I think I played like chess twice.
Was he like a middle class boy that was like, this game is not for you? Boom.
No, I think he was like, I'll teach him to give me somebody to play, but I will continually beat him. And I was like, that one?
Did you ever do that as a kid though? Did you ever left your ball and say, I'm going home?
I'm way home. The kid that owned the ball went in for his dinner. You'd go, you fucking bastard, just leave it out here for all of us. Like
I didn't, but my neighbours were.
Or the people whose copes with the goalposts.
We would play football on a Saturday, and some of my neighbours, we weren't allowed to play. Not we weren't allowed to play. They weren't allowed to play on Sundays because they were Free Presbyterians. But they had the ball, so none of us got to play football on Sunday because we didn't have a ball.
Did they not get? Did you live next to Free Peas and you couldn't play football on us? You still couldn't play football on us.
I didn't have a football.
But why didn't they show the Christian charity and lend you the football?
That's not how Christians work.
Would that be endorsing sinning, as in like actually doing something?
Maybe so. I mean, if you think about it, I think was it years ago was up in Ballymena used to like chain the swings up in the park and all. So you couldn't.
How do you know a Free Presbyterian budgie? Its swing is tied up on a Sunday.
That's the one. That's the exact one.
I can't believe he's actually lived next. That's hilarious.
Enjoyed this.
Really.
We're in Bestwick's a very mixed sort of place, so we've been everybody.
Yeah,
Quaker Village, so everyone's all mixed in.
I love how like even most Protestants, he's still laughing at the swing.
You've got an endless supply of these.
Of shitty jokes, yeah. I love how even Protestants are like judgy sometimes of the Free Peas. They're like,
yeah, like fucking settle out, will you?
I had Protestant mates that, like, I'm going to a wedding on Saturday, and I was like, oh, it should be good crack. And he was like, it's a Free Pea wedding. Fuck me. Oh, Jesus. They've closed the bar down.
A dry wedding, as they call it.
Yeah. They actually paid thousands of pounds to close the bar down.
To close the bar? Oh, yeah, because the hotel's like, we're losing a serious lift here.
Yeah. Instead of just giving them a few grand and going.
Yeah, it's like we can have 200 people in here, or we can have 40 people at a Catholic wedding and pay the mortgage.
Yeah. Keep the lights on for 2 years.
And that's with them sneaking a carry.
That is. I was just about to say that. That's with Auntie Mary with her 2 bottles of wine underneath the fucking table.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Wrapped up as a present, a box of wine. Do you remember?
Yeah. She's only drank them to get a thirst on. She's at the bar now.
She's at the bar. That's getting her purse strings loosened up to go and actually buy a drink.
She had a good left in the bingo. She'll be here all day.
The end of the night, it's Auntie Mary with a bottle in her hand. It's not even all the nephews trying to hold her back.
Speaking of a bunch of repressed Christians, do we have a dirty word this week?
We do have a dirty word, but what we do is we do the dirty word on the Patreon now.
I have to go.
Right, well, we can do...
No, well, not...
We have a new thing. I
have no idea what that means. It's okay.
It's called Swear Down. right?
Swear down, okay.
Swear down. So what we're doing is we're teaching people how to insult others without actually swearing.
Oh, that's actually very sweet.
Is it helpful?
School children, pay attention.
Pay attention, right. And this week's one is a little bit of a fun one because I like it. I like to say it.
Indelicate?
Indelicate.
So we have a delicate creator,
Indelicate.
but an indelicate.
Indelicate. I found that whenever I was doing the dirty word of the week, some viewers might have found it slightly indelicate.
Oh, okay.
So for those who aren't soft of heart and penis, the dirty word of the week is now on Patreon.
Fair enough.
But
You'll have to just send it to me later on.
Indelicate
So
is
send me this one.
having or showing a lack of understanding or sensitivity, right? So, but I like this variation of indelicate, right? So it's
Poor
slightly
taste.
indecent.
Okay.
Indelicate, slightly indecent, right? So an earthy, often indelicate sense of humour.
Okay. Is this like telling dirty jokes at the wrong time?
Yeah.
We're just like, what do you hear this one? And you're like, lad, we were at the funeral. Just give it fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah, just
Wait till we're in the bar after.
It's in poor taste.
Yes, in poor taste.
Very, very nice.
And
So
I
very
kind of think
indelicate.
that I'm indelicate in a lot of ways, but I think I'm indelicate because I enjoy being irreverent. So I'm indelicate on purpose a lot of the
Okay, but
time.
irreverent is more, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Indelicate is, I'm doing this on purpose.
Yeah, but my irreverence is... No, I think it's the other way about. I think people who are indelicate don't often know that they're being indelicate. Whereas people who are irreverent, like I'll say I'm irreverent as fuck because I'll do it on purpose sometimes.
It's levels of it.
Yeah, I like to bring the tone down a little sometimes. Don't get me wrong.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I'm perfectly capable
Every
of,
phone
like,
call and text
behaving
message from
myself.
Bronagh.
Yeah, I know. Ian Thompson introduces me as the woman who taught my kids all their favourite swear words.
Fair.
Because I left
Fair.
him like a voice note before whenever he was on a family
In the car?
In the car. And the kids are all like, Daddy.
All right, fuckhead.
Yeah, like, all right, you fucking big sexy cunt, you. What's crazy? What are you doing? But yeah, the kids were like, Daddy, who is that? You should have went, your new mummy.
Sean, I'm sorry, beep all that.
Yeah, beep all of that. Do you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a dirty word just for you before you go.
Oh, thank you.
Because I opened it up and I was like, just for you, and it said masturbation. Darren. I love it. Right, okay, let's say.
This is the guessing game, everybody. So I'll take a pause while you at home all guess what the word is.
I always open up to that one. I do not know why. Penile ligation.
So yeah, a wee bend in the spine of the book. So yeah, when Bronagh finds one, when you say it, there will be a bit of dead air while you try and guess, and then I'll guess myself.
So, phallophilia.
Phallophilia?
Yeah.
Well, if something's phallic, it's penis-like. So phallophilia, is that a fear of penises or that you really love penises?
Philia is a love, phobia is a fear. So mainly any phobia could be a philia and the other way around.
So phallophilia is just loving dick?
Phallophilia
Phallophiliac
implies a sexual attraction that one has for an erect penis of either extraordinary dimensions or endurance. Right? So it's got to be big or it's got to do something for a long time, right? There's actually...
like a half marathon?
Or at least be the size of a marathon back in the 90s. Do you know what I'm talking about? With the nuts and all.
Oh, God.
There's a wee actual quote here, and I've never seen this before in this book. Male, it is not the size of the ship that is important. It is the motion of the ocean. Female, but only a fool would take a dinghy out on a stormy sea. Touche, motherfucker.
That's like a funnier version of one of my friends has told me this new thing she does. Because obviously, being online in general in 2024 is an absolute cesspool. So whenever she gets sent a dick pic inappropriately that she has not requested, she just unsolicited. Yeah, I never send unsolicited.
Also
I
known
also
as cyber flashing.
Is that what it is?
It's illegal. Yeah.
It is legal. So if that ever happens to her, what she does is she just finds a picture of a bigger, better looking dick and sends that back.
This
says
is what
sorted
you're in
thanks.
competition with. That is fucking
Yeah,
brilliant.
no, I'm sorted thanks. Yeah.
That is genius.
So
Sorted.
just to be like,
thanks.
back in your box.
Have you ever been asked for a dick pic though? Has
Have I
any
been
woman
asked for a dick
ever
pic?
said, "Do you know what I could really do with seeing right now? Send us." I would probably do that just for shiggles. Like,
Well, that's a
see if they would
phallophilic person, isn't it?
Phallophilia, yeah. Like, and apart, it says it's really affected. Like, I know that men's psychology is really affected by that because a lot of men believe that women are obsessed with like size.
But is that not a man's own misconception from watching too much pornography?
Possibly, yeah, probably right enough because like that's not normal. But then men expect women to be different now as well. We're all supposed to look like Barbies.
That'd be weird enough. And also the thing with porn is, lads, them women are getting well paid. Aye. Your missus is not doing that for free. Wise up.
Exactly.
For what, a fucking Domino's meal deal? Fuck off.
Yeah.
KFC.
That's the only 12 inches you're getting around here, love. I'm sorry.
For Shazzy Shankle, a KFC and a dildo. But absolutely, like for a fucking meal deal, especially after a meal deal.
Yeah, like I could do a nap, to be honest.
Do you know you're totally in a long-term relationship when you're like,
maybe tomorrow morning. Wake me up at about 10.
Constipated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to this. I'll have to wait. The phallophilia is off me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And do you know what? You can just do with that what you want. It won't even insult me. Just don't wake me up. Do you know what I mean?
That is true love. I don't mind if you're doing that when I'm here and when I'm not. You just have fun, love.
You just enjoy yourself all day long. You have fun.
Yeah,
absolutely. Do you have any gigs coming up? Speaking of fun.
Fun gigs. We are back doing the World Tour of Newry, so that is on
the World Tour of Newry.
World Tour of Newry, which is a different venue every month. We just finished the 3 town halls. We've announced.
Was there 3 town halls in Newry? I thought you were just doing the same town hall 3 times.
Well, that's exactly what we did. I love how your brain works, though. That was great. We did a 3rd town hall gig.
Oh, I thought you said we were doing the 3 town halls.
Went there.
Why would a town of... Never mind. It's also city, but doesn't matter.
But it's
Newry.
Yeah. You have a Catholic town hall, you have a Protestant
town hall,
and then just a general, like, we all get on town hall.
Get on courts and the other town hall.
God, no. No, so we just finished that. We've announced we're doing a show in Newry Market in the summer, which will be quite cool and different.
That sounds class.
We're going to do one in Warrenpoint Town Hall as well, branching out, helping the neighbours.
Right. Warrenpoint was
during their festival.
Place. We went to Warrenpoint on holiday as kids. That was where we went.
Ours was Fermanagh or Donegal.
There was a caravan park, so I literally used to go on holiday just outside. Like
that would have been Kilbronagh, more of a Strava, really, but lovely.
It was literally Warrenpoint. There's no caravan park there now.
Okay.
It's basically just been built.
They moved the travellers off.
It's nothing.
It's usually all wee fields.
Nothing but fields. And it was nothing but fields. It really was nothing but a field. And then everybody moved their wee cart. There was a wee river that ran behind it, and we had many a happy day with nothing but a stick and a net. And we'd just go around there and let on to be fishing for beer cans and stuff.
Long before you knew what phallophilia was.
Long before I knew what phallophilia was. That was before I met the priest, yes.
Fair enough.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Darren, for coming on.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for the buns and the tea.
You're welcome.
Right.
All day long. And here, if you can, please subscribe to our Patreon. Thank you to our new subscribers as well. And we're going to have a wee chat over there. Me looking Sean after for a wee bit, just to give you some cheer. Thank you.
Bye.